You're going to make all of the other turkey-related items with. There may or may not have been a pot of turkey chili on my stove.
Do you have leftovers? Last night?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of turkey meat left.
I haven't had turkey in about 24 hours. I'd appreciate
swing
if
by
you
Whole
bring some
Foods
in.
and pick up another Thanksgiving helping.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'll go this afternoon.
About what, $49.99 for a slice of turkey and some potatoes?
Listen, slow down on the pricing. We just have to.
Whole Foods?
We got to be very strategic with the
Whole Foods?
Oh no, it's $6. Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
get.
I was gonna say you're not at I don't know
Ralph's?
Aldi, right? Aldi, you could get a nice little side, a little cheap, but Whole
Grocery
Foods
outlet.
They're gonna, sir, we're gonna need to check your credit.
Grocery outlet does not do hot food.
Food for less.
No, it doesn't.
Food for less is another one. That's a better option as well. Wild scene outside, huh?
A lot going on out there.
Yeah. So I walk over to get my coffee. Remind me to tell you a story about the coffee. The coffee lady, no sense of humor. I had a tremendous joke.
You were
she
cracking
did not appreciate
jokes?
it. I had one, and she didn't appreciate it. We'll circle back to that in a second. And I see Carlo, our social media person, and he says, "Do you see what's going on out there?" I'm like, "No." And so I walk around the corner from the JW.
There's traffic.
And there's, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 fire trucks, and they've got the entire intersection blocked off. There's police cars, and everybody's staring up into the sky. And I'm like, I don't see anybody. I'm looking at the JW, and then about halfway up, there's a guy, and they inflate that giant bag, down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see this at all. So I leave. Like I'm not that guy. I do not want to see that. So I go for a walk, 20, 25 minutes or whatever it is. I come back. He'd gone from halfway up the building to all the way at the top of the building, and last I looked out the window, he's still there.
All right, I'm going to give you my perspective. You were here walking around. I was driving in, and they got our parking garage all kind of coned off.
Right.
Ambulances everywhere, all that stuff, and I see a couple of people, looking up. This is kind of well before I even got to the Marriott area, before I got to LA Live. So I'm driving. I got my neck up. I'm looking all over the place. I don't know what they're looking at. By the way, that's all you need to do. 3 people look up, and they could be looking up at nothing. I'm in.
Very true.
I'm in, and I will look until my neck cracks. So I eventually see what you're talking about when I'm waiting at the stoplight.
Did you see the guy finally?
Saw the guy.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little
You
speck.
could barely see him. He's so high up there.
Almost on top of the Ritz-Carlton Marriott. And then after that, it was, guys, there's cones in the way. Just kind of worked my way through the cones. And
you're not going to let any cones stop you from getting into your parking spot.
Garage, and
that
was
reason,
it.
Al.
Yeah.
Well,
did you clip
they're
one,
there
or
for a
did
reason.
you just
but
go through them?
The cones, there was just enough space to go.
Okay.
Cones are always there. That's not. It's when I say always there, as in there's a big event, something like that.
Oh yeah.
You flash your little LA Live card.
Okay.
They just part the seas. They let you in. So that's what I was waiting for.
That's usually when there's like a concert or something.
100%.
Not necessarily when there's police activity.
And not at 9:30 in the morning for that. Yeah, it's a little freaky. That's scary. That's scary.
It was scary. Hopefully, it gets down in one piece.
Can we hear more about this turkey chili that you had last night?
Well, it was take some of the meat that was left over, chop it up, and then just make kind of a chili base, which is onions, garlic, jalapenos, red peppers. I
have to stop
crushed
you for a
tomatoes.
second. I have to stop you for a second. This is a perfect time. There's a lot of people with turkey right now.
Yeah.
Extra turkey.
Okay.
This is some good.
You want like the step-by-step of this whole thing?
I think you have I don't think you know it, or maybe you do know it and you just don't let it out enough. You're really good at this. Very, very good at this. At not just preparing food, but when you talk about it, the way you describe it, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are kind of sitting back and saying, I don't know what the hell to do with this turkey. I don't know what to do with it. So please continue.
So you have your leftover turkey. Chop it up into however size pieces you would like. Kind of put it off to the side, right? Take an onion, dice it up, right? I took a couple of jalapenos, dice them up, take out the seeds if you'd like. If you don't want it to be too hot, leave them in if you want a little spice. Dice up a red bell pepper, right? Put a little canola oil in the pot. Get it hot, throw all that stuff in there, put a little garlic in there, cook them down just a little bit. Then you throw in the turkey, kind of get it hot and everything. Then you put in your cumin, your paprika, your chili powder, and your cayenne pepper, right? Just enough to kind of, I don't really measure things. I just kind of go by taste. So it's probably, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 of cumin. Anyway.
What are the hours of your restaurant?
Bring it up to temperature.
Okay.
Put in, I like beans in my chili, little pintos, little blacks, little kidneys. All 3 of them go into there.
Okay.
A can of crushed tomatoes. Cover it up. Let it get up hot. Then you let it turn the heat all the way back down. Let it simmer for as long as you'd like. Let it all come together. Little Fritos, little shredded cheese, little cilantro, little raw jalapeno as toppings. If you want to put a little sour cream on there, I'm not going to get mad at you. And there you go. That's what I did yesterday. I was hungry. Nobody was home, and I wanted to make some things. Yeah.
How did it go?
Couple questions
Yeah.
as far as
cold beer on the side.
do you always have like a, like what's your, I don't know, do you have certain attire that you're wearing? Are you barefoot? Are you putting a towel over your?
I do towel over the shoulder because so I'm not going through a million paper towels. I got a dish towel. They wipe my hands on.
Yep.
So it's funny.
Because I can see you with no shirt either, and just a towel.
Look, I don't like to catch a glimpse of myself.
Yeah, but there's no
without a
mirror
shirt.
around.
Yeah, well, there's windows. You can, there's lights on in the house. There's always reflections.
Guys, a turtleneck on.
My refrigerator is stainless steel. I could catch a glimpse in that. I don't know. Nobody needs to see that.
Oh God.
It's about what it would be like. But I didn't. I literally, on my way home, grocery store, straight, started chopping, cooking. Susan comes home. I'm still in all of my work. She's like, you haven't changed your clothes? I'm like, I had chili to make. Still had the whole thing on. It's a good day.
Who's going to run this restaurant?
I have some. Should I bring you some tomorrow? I have a lot left.
Yes.
All right. I'll try to. Taylor, you're responsible for reminding me to bring that in. Yes.
I love how you threw that on tape.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I miss it? Was there any carbs here? Any cornbread? Any bread on the
I
side?
did make cornbread too,
Okay,
but just kind of
nice.
instant cornbread out of the bag. Nothing super fancy. And Fritos. You got to have chili with Fritos. That just goes without saying.
Bring it in. That'd be amazing. Yeah, bring it in. If
I'll
you
bring
got
it.
some left
I think I
over.
have some left. Yeah,
Okay.
I made quite a bit. I may have overdone it a little bit as
That's
my,
okay.
my portions go, but it was pretty good. We've got Iran and USA coming up in just a little bit less than an hour, Slee. And we talked about it yesterday. Like the whole USA, U.S. beats England 0-0. Yeah, A, hilarious. And B, did you hear what you just said? It was 0-0. How exciting could it have been? That being said, it kind of was, and I'm kind of excited to see I'm excited to see. I want us to win.
Yeah.
I want the U.S. to go through.
Yeah.
I want to see us go into the knockout round, and I have absolutely no expectation because I don't know if we're good or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if Iran's good or not. I have no idea.
Can I tell you something that's probably just as important to you and I? We never have any conflict with the show. Right?
Yes.
There's
We
nothing
should have
that
a
ever.
preemption.
Shouldn't this be the one?
How about
if
this?
it's not this one, if it's not USA
Right.
and Iran to go to the next round, USA has to win this, right?
Yes. Win or you're
Or
out.
it's done. If it's not today, you and I will never have one. It's never going to
How
happen
about this?
unless Lakers start tipping off at 10 a.m.
Why don't you just do the play-by-play, and I'll just take the last 2 hours of the show. I'll drive down and get the chili and come back, and then you can have it for lunch.
Penalty kick,
Out.
corner
in.
kick.
That's it. Emily, you know soccer a little bit. Maybe you could be his color
I
analyst.
could try. I think Iran can advance if they just have a draw.
That's
so
correct.
it's going to be quite the interesting.
They'll
And
be
they're just going to put
strategic.
everybody in the box. That's
They're
what
gonna.
I
Yeah,
You ready? You ready
yeah,
for me to
yeah.
drop a little on you? You ready? They're gonna
Go
park
ahead.
the bus.
Hey.
Right? You know what that means? I found out yesterday.
I'm assuming here they're just playing defense. And
They
Load
just
the
put
box.
all of their people in front of the goal so nothing gets through.
it.
We're going to park the bus. So expect Iran to park the bus today. There's your soccer analysis on the Travis and Sliwa show.
All right, during this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate, purchase a green fee, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru Subaru.
So two things. I don't think that coffee machine's coming back anytime
Is it
soon.
done?
They filled all the empty space with other things, so at least it's not coming back anytime soon. I wouldn't
You make coffee in the microwave?
Instant. I'm going to bring just U-Ban, little instant U-Ban we can throw in there. So I go over to Illy to get my coffee.
Yeah.
And
This
there's
is with Berg or
by
without
myself.
Berg?
By myself.
Was it kind of, were you a little nervous?
He was in a
'Cause
meeting.
kind of Greg is,
Yeah,
he's been doing that. He's been doing the
Not gonna
Illy
lie.
thing.
He's kind of like a drug dealer. He kind of got me hooked on it, and
Sure.
now I'm kind of on my own. Now I can get the hook up all by myself. So I go over there. There's one woman in line ahead of me, and the woman who's working at the counter says to her, and I'm standing directly behind her. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 feet, so I can clearly hear what they're saying. And the worker says to the customer, all we have is drip coffee. Our espresso machine isn't working. And the lady says, okay, great. I'll just take a black coffee. She gets her coffee and she walks. And I'm
Is
next
this where
to-
your joke is coming in?
Yes. And so I'm the next person in line, and it's 30 seconds after she just told this
I think
person.
I have the.
And
Can I
said-
guess what
she
the
goes-
joke is?
Sure. She says, can I help you?
Did you say, I'll take an espresso?
Of course I did. Of course I did. I I said, I'd like an espresso, please. And she looks at me like I'm the dumbest person on the face of the earth. Not it's the dumbest joke she's ever heard. Like, how did you think it got fixed between the 30 seconds I told her and she looks at me like this, Al? No response at all. Just flat face.
Okay, here's my question to you. How's your setup? Because I think a lot of this, do you have a little smirk on your face? Are you smiling?
Deadpan.
Okay, I think this is the problem.
No, it's her problem. My delivery was flawless.
If I don't know Travis, okay, and you're not smiling and you're giving no indication of smiling, you look like a serious dude. So I'm going to take you serious. So if I'm behind the counter and you're coming in and you're trying to lob a joke, if you kind of lean a little bit and gave a little smirk, I'll do a double espresso. And there's a little smile to it.
I did no smile. I'll take an espresso, please. And she stares at me. And a good 2-3 seconds goes by, which feels like an eternity in one of those things, right? Mm-hmm. And I said to her, I'm just kidding. I'll take a black coffee. At that point, she doesn't go, oh, okay. No acknowledgement of the fact that I was trying to say something funny.
Yeah.
She could have given me the courtesy. Nothing. Like, it never happened at all. And as I walked away, I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, that, and then I'm like, you know what? I respect her for not giving me what I wanted. Like, I respect her absolute refusal to engage in my nonsense.
She should have got you an orange juice.
She didn't have any espresso. She was tired.
But I wasn't asking her to get me one. I just thought that she would go, yeah, okay, very funny. What can I actually
When
get
you said, I'm just kidding.
Nothing.
What were you still kind of stone cold, or did you smile?
At that point, I kind of went, no, I'm just kidding. I'll take a black coffee, please.
All right, then that's on her.
What was the tip like?
Today was not a tip day, Emily.
Did you credit card?
No, I did cash. And I took back my $1.12 and change.
If she would have laughed, she would have gotten it.
If she had acknowledged my joke, she gets $1.12.
By the way, that's when you know if you're getting $1.12 back, if the 12 cents don't even go back, the dime and 2 pennies. So if that doesn't go in the tip jar.
It's funny you say that. I always feel, because sometimes you'll get, let's say you get like $5.25, $5.22 back.
Yep.
You got this shit, you don't really want it, right?
It's gone.
But isn't it kind of, I always feel oddly disrespectful giving somebody 22 cents. Like, I don't want this, you can have it. Like a dollar bill, a handful of quarters, that cool, but 22 cents feels disrespectful.
You're not wrong. That's why I even counted out when I put it in. 10 cents. 20, 21, 22. And I put my hands up
here,
like
hold
this.
On. I'm gonna go in my pocket. I've got it right here. I actually have the 12 cents from yesterday in my pants. There you go. You can give her that much.
Yeah, that's got to go.
If you're watching,
what
do we got here?
I can't carry change.
That's 23. That's 34 cents, Al.
Hate carrying change.
34 cents going to Italy.
Apparently not. It is not going to
Italy.
Italy.
See if she laughs at the joke tomorrow. It'll be up to like 47 cents.
That's how you're threading her.
We'll see if it goes. All right.
Laugh, damn it.
Lakers. I'm glad we got a couple of laughs in right now, because last night was not funny.
First off, why is Morales playing Adele?
Because they blew a 17-point lead with 10 minutes to go.
I would like Chris Morales. I feel like Adele is so associated with the Rams. Give me like Whitney Houston, or give me somebody else.
Celine Dion or something.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, all right.
Or Shania, but Shania's all upbeat.
Too upbeat.
It's
it's positive. It puts you in a good mood. Your foot starts tapping.
Yeah, because right when I heard that, I was like, did Rams play on Monday Night Football, or did they lose again? Did something else happen?
Adele or otherwise, that was a catastrophe last night. We'll get into it next. It's Travis Sliwa, 710 ESPN. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Football fans, want to win $100 for picking 5 games against the spread? Just download the Cover 5 app for free. Compete with me and Cappy on Sedano and Cap each week for a chance to win $100. Here's what you need to do. Just download the Cover 5 app, use the code SK22 to join our show league, and start having fun all season long. Just download the Cover 5 app, use the code SK22 to join the Sedano and Cap Show League. So pick 5 games against the spread to win $100. It's really that simple. Or play all season long at cover5.com.
Tuesday.
That's great. Last segment we talked about Travis's chili recipe and the chili that he made last night. And so I posted in the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust and in the Travis and Sliwa community if anybody had any advice or questions to ask for Travis about like what to do with your turkey leftovers. And Crypto Ray says, not a fan of turkey, but my rule is no more turkey by Monday. Thursday through Sunday is the cap. Do you guys agree with that?
You eat it till it's gone in my world. You know, I get what he's saying. I get that you get to that point.
Yeah, say it to my face.
You're just like, okay, I just really don't want it. That's why chili and tacos and some other things that you can use to kind of disguise what the actual meat is. Because chili, it could be ground turkey, it could be ground beef, it could be really whatever you want it to be. You're just eating the chili broth. That's what makes it chili. So it's all good. I'm going to eat it till there's none left.
I'm with you on that. I don't think there's got to be a date to it. And I understand you have it a couple days in a row. It might not taste that good. But what if you go out to Whole Foods and try theirs? You want to meet the chef there.
I can't decide whether that's awesome or the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, explain to me. Why? Why both ways?
Because that you wanted it again is awesome. That you're like, I'm not done. I'd still like more turkey. And
can I add one element?
Yeah.
They had stuffing.
Sure.
We didn't have stuffing.
Okay. Yeah.
So there was like there was a curveball that I hadn't got yet.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the stuffing.
You had an itch to scratch, and you hadn't gotten it yet.
Everybody, that's what people do. It's like,
that makes
the
more
stuffing's amazing. It's this, that. I'm like, Well, we don't get stuffing.
That shoots me more towards the awesome side.
We got dolma.
The dolma sounds good, too.
You had to pick between stuffing and dolma. They went dolma.
And dolma isn't seasonal, though. You can have dolma any time of the year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's usually occasions.
Birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas.
This, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Lakers over Pacers. So we don't get it now.
The weird part is that you just went through the weekend of where that stuff is readily abundant, and that at the end of the weekend you're like, I'm going to go again.
Okay. But here's what you have to understand. This is the most important part of it. Probably so I went on a Sunday. Monday, it's not going to be there anymore. Whole Foods is not going to bring that. That's not going to be an item
Well, it's going to be there
available
until they sell all that they had, because they make God knows how much of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep going out until A, it's not safe to serve, or B, somebody like Alan Sliwa buys it all. Those are the two options right there.
You know, you can have stuffing any time of the year. You can just get the stovetop stuffing.
I'm with Slee on that one. That feels very you're
Tuesday,
right. You can,
but Tuesday, I don't think Whole Foods is going to still have that available.
You should go check. You should make a drive-by. Because to Emily's point, you can make stuffing whenever you want, but if you went home today and Lady Slee's like, yeah, I just whipped something up. Oh, yeah, what'd you make? Turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes. She'd be like, what?
No, you know what I'd say? This is amazing.
That would be the second thing
I
you'd
haven't
say.
had stuffing since Sunday.
That would be the second thing. The first thing would be like, it's Tuesday night for you made stuffing. It's
pretty funny.
It would be just totally out of left field.
I have something to ask you guys, and I don't know if this is bad or not. So, you know how I talked about yesterday with my car issues and everything. Is it a bad thing that my mechanic is on a nickname basis with me? It's not even just, hey, Emily, nice to see you. It's, hey, Em, and then gets right into working with my car. I did not call them ahead of time.
You got your spot ready. Pull it right into the garage.
I have it labeled at the Emily Hebel spot.
I like that.
Yeah, it's they really
personalized.
know me.
Yeah, not at the mechanics. Personalized at your restaurant. The mechanic dings you. That's expensive.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to the mechanic.
Luckily,
you don't want to, but if you're going to be there, I kind of feel, like if that auto body who still has not called me yet.
I was going to ask that later.
That has
today,
not
yeah.
happened.
No.
I actually called them yesterday, and they're like, well, we should be getting to your car soon. Should you? Sounds good. Just let me know. But if he starts throwing in...
I picture an airport parking lot of damaged cars with yours all the way in the back. Yeah, we're going to get to the Slee-mobile eventually.
Some of those cars don't have... There's just nothing. There's no tires on them. There's no hood, no bumper, nothing. No engine.
So can I go dad mode for a second, Emily?
For sure.
Okay. Without getting into your personal finances, have you done the math on what it costs to repair this car relative to getting a different car?
So luckily, they did everything for free. They did everything they did yesterday for free, which is nice. Because again, when you're on a nickname basis with these guys,
frequent flyer, you redeemed your mechanic points.
Right, exactly. I haven't had to have.
She gets a hole punch for every time she visits.
Like free subs.
I haven't had to have major
Come
work
6
done
times, get an oil change
in about a year, and that was when I got this battery replaced.
Well, when you came out here, the thing nearly died.
Yes, that was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, it nearly died, but then since then it's been fine. So it's just
you had a duct tape situation.
Yeah.
I feel like this has come up frequently.
Yeah. So I think that there's
multiple
a little bit,
lost keys.
There's a little bit left on the on my loan to get it, and I don't have the funds necessarily to pay off that loan and get a new car. So that's where I am at the current time.
Only one thing can make you feel better.
Yes.
Chili.
I'm going to say mashed potatoes from Whole Foods.
Yeah, stuffing and mashed potatoes. By the way, that's the kind of, they say chicken soup when you're sick. Hit me with the stuffing and mashed potatoes. Yeah. Feed a fever, starve
when
a
you're
cold,
sick, you either want nothing or you're just eating and you're like, what are you doing?
It's the only time where I don't have an appetite. That's it. Like everything else, it's
a cracker every 7 hours. You're like, I'm good.
I can't eat another bite. I had a sip of Gatorade and a saltine.
You're just cutting the cracker in half.
I'll finish the rest later.
What are you doing?
My car issues didn't start with this car, though. It's been the entirety of my life as a driver. And so I'm starting to think it's me. I don't think it's necessarily the car.
Do you maintain your vehicle properly?
Yeah, I get my oil change whenever I need to get it changed.
Every 8,000 miles.
Every time it starts to smoke, I put more
when
oil
it shakes,
every 2 years.
I go.
No, I think I'm avid about it. I have bad luck.
Michael comes home the other day. Hey, car's smoking. What?
That's not
what do you mean it's smoking? When I turn it off, smoke comes out from under the hood. I'm like, how long has that been happening? I don't know, a couple weeks. Like
That's amazing.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's amazing.
You've got it. It runs fine.
All right, so sometimes I want to give Michael the, 16 years old, so you're not thinking. I'm thinking at 16, I'm probably going to tell my parents right when the smoke starts. I'm not going to probably wait a couple weeks.
So maybe Emily, we can see if we can get a deal. Get a 2 for the price of 1 situation. Okay. Something going on right there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what happened last night.
Yep.
There's a lot to get into. AD didn't take a lot of shots. LeBron did, which was not a great idea. They blew a 17-point lead with about 10 minutes to go.
Yep.
Darvin Ham took the responsibility on himself. Where would you like to start with what happened? And oh, by the way, they lost on a buzzer beater.
Let's start with this. I want to start with the 17-point lead. So we'll just kind of stick with that for a second. Lakers, as much NFL as you watch and as you cover, yesterday was like an NFL moment for me. It's when you have let's say a 2-score lead, you're up 10, and you're in the fourth quarter, and there's 10 minutes left to go. And then all of a sudden, however you got the lead, you just kind of go away from it, and it's like, you know what, let's just play it safe. Let's run the ball. Let's not take chances on third downs. Let's not go for the kill. And then when we're on the defensive side, let's play prevent. Let's keep everybody in front of us. Let's make sure no big plays. And all of a sudden, the other team starts getting into a rhythm. 15 yards here, 8 yards here, 20 yards here. Before you know it, they kick a field goal. Now they're within a touchdown. And then the same thing happens on the next drive. And then 3 minutes left to play. They get the ball back. Now they're down 7, and they got nothing to lose, and they feel good. And next thing you know, they tie the game or they take the lead, whatever happens. I felt like that was the Lakers in the fourth quarter yesterday. 9.5 minutes left, you're up 17. 9.5 minutes left, you're up 17.
By the way, that's not a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. That's a 24-point lead in the fourth quarter.
17 in the fourth quarter. 9.5. You're at home. You're at Crypto. So I start with that because I'm going to get into some details of what was very frustrating yesterday, and I think the Lakers are in an interesting spot with individual players. But you're up 17. You got no excuse to lose that game. And, Trav, this isn't one of – Lakers don't have – they didn't start the season 13-8. They didn't start the season 12-7. They didn't start the season that way. So each one of these games, you're inching closer to 500. That when you lose one –
especially that one.
Yeah, that's a big setback for a team that was just starting to build some momentum.
And it wasn't just like you were saying that. I agree with you. If you're trying to get back to 500 and you have a 17-point lead with 9.5 minutes to go and you don't get it, that's telling me you don't get it, right? That you don't quite have your bleep together. You don't quite understand how to do what needs to get done. Because Indiana's having a decent start to their season. They're over 500, but that's not a great basketball team. That's not the Golden State Warriors who just got white hot and started raining threes from all. That's not what that was. But it wasn't just that they let a big lead get away. It was why and how and who. That it was all of the worst things that we've talked about with this team all at the same time. Namely, Anthony Davis, poof, gone. Just gone. He's been your best player for 2 weeks. And not just best player because somebody has to be, but best player, period, in the league for a couple of weeks. Took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. LeBron was ice cold, and he keeps jacking up shot after shot after shot. It's like, dude, I get it. You're LeBron James. You have free rim, but, dude, feel the situation out here.
No, it's not okay.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. And this was just all of the worst tendencies that this team has happening at the same time. We'll unpack all of it, in particular LeBron's performance, because I said something yesterday that I think we got to see last night that's not filling me with a great deal of confidence. That's coming up next. It's Travis Sliwa, 710 ESPN. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play. Football fans, want to win $100 for picking 5 games against the spread? Just download the Cover 5 app for free. Compete with Travis and Sliwa each week for a chance to win $100. Here's what you need to do. Download the Cover 5 app, use the code TS22 to join our show league and start having fun all season long. Just download the Cover 5 app, use the code TS22 to join the Travis and Sliwa Show League, pick 5 games against the spread to win $100, or play all season long at cover5.com. Somebody suggesting turkey enchiladas with your leftover turkey. Sure. Who says no to that? Can I tell you,
sounds amazing.
Enchiladas are really good. I like them a lot. A lot of work. There's a lot of work when I could just make a taco and throw all the stuff on top. I know they're not baked. They don't get the crusty cheese and all that great stuff, but a lot of work.
No idea what you're talking about. That means you'd actually have to prepare enchilada.
Enchilada, making them is a ton of work. I'm just talking eating them. Like, it's just, I'm not talking about the construction of them.
A lot. I thought you were talking about, you got to make them scratch.
I'm not pressing tortillas. I'm not grinding the masa.
If you told me
there are some shortcuts that I am not ashamed at all. I am not going to, as great as homemade tortillas are, and they're the best, I don't have that game, nor the time, or anything else. But, enchiladas.
I'll be adding that, too. You know how...
Give me a tortilla press.
You know how there's restaurants out there where they got the window facing wherever you're walking.
Sure.
And they're preparing tortillas. I would use as an example Old Town down in San Diego, right? I think it's Old Town Mex, the Mexican cafe they have there, and they're making the tortillas right there in front of you. I just picture
Will they throw you one occasionally?
No.
They do that at Lupe's down in Dana Point.
Well, they can't because we'll hit the window.
You
hang
they're
out
on the
there
long
inside
enough.
of the window.
If you're inside, there's the glass, but it only goes up to about 6 feet. They'll toss one over the glass.
What are you, a seagull?
Like you're
Catching in your
Shamu.
mouth?
Like
this guy getting bread like a seagull is coming in.
You got to sit there and just I've been standing here for 5 minutes waiting for my burritos. Throw me a fresh tortilla.
Yeah, there's always spots that just I think of whether it's Fisherman's Wharf up in. Yeah. There's always spots where it's just known that there are going to be birds there, right? You take a bite and you just kind of you throw a little bit of bread. That's you at that restaurant.
It's a little taco shop. They make fresh tortillas and just
But I could see you at your place if you ever start making fresh tortillas. There's just a big window, and there you are, apron on, just doing whatever you're doing.
Pressing them out. All right. I'm afraid that the answer may be super obvious, and I don't like it.
Okay.
Anthony Davis did that thing again last night that has me. It's the number one concern on my Anthony Davis, which is just poof, gone. Like he was. Anthony Davis was killing people for 2 weeks, and you're in a tight game.
Yeah.
The lead's slipping away. Your team's playing very poorly, and you're just watching it happen. Just watching it happen. Not taking. LeBron can't throw a rock into the ocean all of a sudden. He can't make a shot. Demand the damn ball. insist on it going through you. And, look, if you want to be on LeBron's level, if you want to be the guy that can be the best player on this team, part of that is speaking truth to other people and saying, listen, man, give me the ball. Give it. If you've not been looking what I've been doing lately, give it to me. Demand it. Make it uncomfortable for other people. Be loud. Be aggressive. Nothing. Two shots.
Let me play it the other way, okay? I'm LeBron James. Should I be taking 22? Should I be taking 7 more shots than Anthony Davis in last night's game?
Of course not.
Should I be dribbling the ball and just letting the shot clock run down? This kind of takes me back to that prevent defense I'm talking about. You're hoping and praying the clock just runs out. Go put an end to this game. Should I be, if I'm LeBron James, I saw, like you just mentioned, 4 straight games of the best version of Anthony Davis you haven't seen in 2 years. Okay? Should I also, and I said this about a week ago, this is an interesting adjustment, in my opinion, for LeBron. T-Rod,
sure.
Period. Right? He'll at some point break the record for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's at some point to pass Magic in all-time assists. He's going to take down these stats like no tomorrow. You are no longer the best player on this team.
No.
And that's a good thing. It's a good thing when you get to a point where Anthony Davis becomes the best. We were hoping this 2 years ago. The idea and the concept was AD starts taking over the team. I think we're at an interesting point where Bron has never, at any point of his career, walked on the floor, and he wasn't the best player on his own team.
Right.
So I think there is an adjustment
the
here.
Best player in the building.
In the best player in the building. He had a game on Saturday against the Spurs. He had 7 threes. He had 39 points. He had one of those games. AD wasn't there. AD's had games without Bron there where he's been fantastic. Well, the only way the Lakers are going to have any chance of competing this upcoming year, this has to merge. Those two, but you got to understand, if Bron took 22 shots yesterday and AD took 15, I think that's not the way it's going to get done. And Bron
clearly
posting up and not Anthony Davis posting up, that's not the way it's going to get done. So that was frustrating for me to watch. And I think that's on Bron to find that adjustment and be the guy that says, listen, I'm the second option on this team. You're the number one option. It's a combination of the two of them.
There's a lot that you just said. There's a lot. I'm gonna take the last one first before I forget it. In a perfect world, it would be LeBron realizing what you just said. Hey, my shot's not falling tonight. AD's been the best player on our team for the last couple of weeks. Let's feed him the ball. In a perfect world, that's how it would go. In the real world, that's almost never how it goes. In the real world, especially a person like LeBron James, who has been what you described, the best player on his team, the best player in the league, the best player in the world,
can't turn that
the
off.
best player ever.
Can't turn that
to
off.
just have him go, oh, okay, I'll just give it. No. What made him all of those things are the same things that have him taking shots, saying, oh, this next one's going to go in for sure. He's LeBron James. So for him just all of a sudden say, oh, I'm cold tonight, let me pass it over here, it's probably not going to happen. And it's certainly not going to happen for a while. That's where Anthony Davis needs to come in. That's where the head coach needs to come in and say, hey, let's make sure we're getting AD his looks. Somebody has to say something, because if the light bulb's not going on for LeBron, and I understand why it's not, somebody else needs to do it. I want to go back to the other thing you said, where you're saying that this is a good thing, right? That LeBron James is no longer the best player on the team. It's a good thing if this is happening because one guy just races past the other, right? That if LeBron James is holding his position and AD just keeps getting better and better and better, and then it becomes like, hey, this is obvious that this is, I'm not unlike when LeBron was in Miami with Dwayne Wade. At first, like, okay, who's the guy? And then it's just like, look, guys, LeBron's clearly the best player.
That was Dwayne Wade going to Bron and saying, hey,
of course,
you got to be the number one option.
But it was very obvious and clear. This is more, LeBron is starting to decline. AD's been better of late, but it's more of a result of just somebody has to be, rather than somebody else is getting better and better and better. This is what I mentioned yesterday, which is, to me, one of the most potentially damaging things for this season for the Lakers.
Okay.
LeBron James's performance, I think, are going to be all over the map. I really do. I just think that you're going to have nights like in San Antonio where it's like, oh, yeah, there's LeBron. You're going to have nights like last night, too, because that's what we've seen so far this year. You've seen some really good performances, and you've seen some moments from LeBron, too. Yeah. And he's in his 20th season. Look, Kobe had it, too. Tim Duncan had it, too. Dirk had it, too.
Can I take it a little further? I think by the time they were in their 20th season, I knew it. I knew what 4 out of 5 nights were going to be.
Of course.
Bron is actually
that he's giving you 1 out of 2.
That's
Yes.
actually that's the one that's not normal, is the fact that Bron can still give those on a more consistent
that
basis.
light going off and him realizing that, hey, listen, is tonight the night where I got the hot hand and I'm making a bunch of shots against San Antonio, or is tonight the night where I can't get the ball in the basket? And trying to understand what that is, because I don't think that's going to happen for him. And I understand why. Like I explained to you a second ago. You need somebody else to say, hey, hold the phone here. Whether it's Darvin Ham, whether it's Anthony Davis, whether it's Patrick Beverley, I don't know who it's got to be.
Yeah.
But somebody say, hey, Bron, dude, let's get AD involved right here. Because AD clearly is not going to do it. It's not in his nature. He's not going to be the guy that stands up.
That's a problem.
It's not in his nature. If it was going to come out, it would have come out by now.
Sure.
It hasn't, and it won't. So it needs to be somebody else. But this up and down, good night, really good night, really bad night, that's what you're going to get from LeBron James from this point forward, I think. Unfortunately, I hope to be wrong, but his performance last couple of years, it's becoming more and more like this, and this year in particular has been a really mixed bag between, yeah, that's pretty good, and that was really bad, and last night, that was really bad.
I think there's a point in your career. Bron doesn't take me as a guy that, if I told you Bron is his first instinct is scoring or facilitating, what would you say?
At this point, I think it's kind of a 50-50 split. For the majority of his career, it was facilitating.
So I would lean a little towards facilitating. But you're not wrong at this point.
Yeah.
By saying at this point, because last year he was averaging 30 points a game.
Yes.
Well, you don't average 30 points a game unless scoring is your first option.
Yeah.
And I think this year there are moments that you could look. I'll use last night as an example. Took 22 shots. AD took 15. AD was 9 of 15. Bron was 8 of 22. Right? Like there's just
particularly bad in the fourth quarter.
And you took 10 threes. Where's AD going to take most of his shots? Most of his damage is going to go a lot closer to the basket, which is a higher percentage, everything else. But I'd like to think Bron is smart enough because of everything that he has accomplished.
I don't think it's a basketball IQ thing, Slee.
It's not a basketball IQ, but let me ask you this. If it's so clear for you and I that Anthony Davis should get more touches, have the ball more in the post, run everything through Anthony Davis. Impossible that Bron doesn't know that.
But I disagree with that. The reason that you and I can see it and he can't is because he's LeBron James and we're not. That everything in his life is, watch this. It takes a long time for that to kind of go, really, hey, you know what, maybe not. It takes a really long. I was listening to a podcast, Smartless. Wayne Gretzky was on it right? Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, pretty good comp, right? And he said it wasn't until he was nearly 60 years old we realized, I really can't do this anymore. And he stopped. He doesn't even put on skates anymore. But it's that thing of, no, I'm Wayne Gretzky. I'm LeBron. Of course I can do this. Why? I missed that one, but the next one's going in. That doesn't just turn off. It doesn't just go away. It's not this. I almost said it. This stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum. Right? It does. These are not
2022.
robots.
It's promoted.
Where a robot would say, okay, I'm having a bad night. I'm going to go to him. He's having a better night. They're human beings. And LeBron James is not a normal human being. He's a superhuman. And his superhumanity has turned him into what we've seen. So to just think, oh, turn that off, it doesn't work like that.
Let's put it this way then. Then they're going to have – it's going to become more and more of an issue then as the season progresses.
I think you're right.
Because if AD ain't – if he's not the focal point, if Anthony Davis is getting to the line 12 times a game and he's taking 20 shots, Trav, there's a good chance Lakers are going to win those games.
I agree with you.
If it's opposite and Bron's taking the 20-plus shots and AD's taking 7-8 less looks, which is then means he's going to get to the free throw line less, then we might be having this conversation much more than we want to have.
Percent right. Like that is an accurate analysis of what's happening.
But that doesn't mean it's going to change.
But the human beings involved are not just going to do what is in everybody's best interest because this is the right thing. It's human beings, and they do. You see that guy climb the building today? People do weird stuff. They do really weird stuff.
Well, people should listen to us.
That is definitely true. We got some phone calls that we'll get to coming up in just a little bit. But hey, did you see? Coming up next, it's Travis Sliwa, 7.
Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that? I saw it. I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see? Did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
I was thinking about your impromptu road trip over the Thanksgiving weekend. I'm intrigued. I have more questions that I will sprinkle in throughout the rest of the week because just I've always wanted to do that, Slee. Just say, you know what? I'm out of here and just go driving and see where I end up. Never done it. I'm very impressed.
I've done it a few times. 2 years ago, I just drove up to Seattle, actually. It was 2,500 miles up there, 2,500 back.
Would you touch the Space Needle and turn around and come home?
Something like that.
Got a coffee at the original Starbucks.
My car would have blown up if it did that.
Your car would blow up if you tried to do that to Santa Barbara.
Right, exactly.
What's up, Taylor?
Did you see that this year's flu season is more severe than it has been in 13 years? When you were a kid...
I'm so confused about the whole...
The flu?
I'm so confused. Yeah, go ahead.
When you were a kid, Slee, did your parents have any unorthodox remedies for when you got sick?
There's some random things. Let me give you an example. This could be a very Middle Eastern thing. I have no idea. If you burnt yourself, so let's say you burnt your finger or something like that, you'd put toothpaste on it. You ever heard of that one?
I haven't.
Okay. I don't know if it's so let's say you use, and it's not like a brand. We only use Colgate on our finger.
Crest doesn't work. Crest is good for a cut, Colgate for a burn.
I don't know if there's like a cooling sensation.
There's mint in it.
Yep, there's like a cooling sensation. Kind of felt like it worked. Could have all been mental, and it could have been something that they pulled out of Iraq.
Were you burning yourself? You trying to get the stuffing before it was done, or what?
Who knows?
Fireworks.
Who knows?
Playing with matches.
I found ways. I found ways. That's one of them. Trying to think of some other remedies, especially the flu when you were sick. I gotta think of some more, but I know there's definitely some stuff out there.
So we didn't have a lot of like home remedies necessarily because the way that we would deal with it in you're fine, go to school. that you had to be absolutely banged up, barfing, and who knows what else to not go to school.
They assumed you were faking it?
Not faking it, but you'll be fine. Just get through the day. You can come home. You can go to bed when you get home from school. And that whole deal, it was always you had to be very, very sick. They were not going to just we'll rub some, Tic Tacs on your forehead or whatever it is.
I swear my grandma would take like some liquor or something.
Yeah, I think there might have been a little bit
on your
of
gums.
I remember they used to take like baby aspirin and mash them up with a bunch of sugar to get me to take them as a kid. But nothing super unorthodox.
Yeah. My family was always just watch a bunch of The Price is Right. It'll cure everything in you, and then always
not wrong on that.
You had to be on death's door.
I think when
I
watch Price is Right, I feel like I'm sick. I haven't watched Price is Right in years. But you got so accustomed to the only time you watched Price is Right.
Were your mom and dad, did you have to be really sick? If you said, Mom, I don't feel very good, okay, go back to bed. Where did they land on that?
Very similar. You have to be sick. Like, they have to, you can't get out of bed. You're struggling. They could tell.
Yeah.
If it was, I feel kind of okay. It's like, all right, then you're good. Then go to school.
I also knew that there was you missed school on Tuesday, so you're not going out on Friday night or something. That was a half a week ago. I want to go do something. You were sick. Apparently you're sick. You're sick. You can't go out.
Stay in for the weekend.
That's right.
A remedy for behavior, though, was funny for my grandma. Regardless of what it was always wash your mouth out with soap. You hit your sister, wash your mouth out with soap. It wasn't because it's usually you wash your mouth out with soap because you curse or say something.
Bad words.
Exactly. But no, that was my grandmother's
like Ralphie in a Christmas
everything
story.
that you could possibly do. I was like, okay.
Oh, fudge. Did you see that
I didn't say fudge.
Did you see that a Tulsa man was arrested after a family Monopoly game turned violent? Has there been a time your competitive nature made you do something that you regret, Travis?
Yes. Not on a board game, but there have been times where I've let my competitive spirit get the best of me, and I have sulked and pouted over things that are completely stupid and irrelevant. Very frequently playing pickup basketball in college.
Yeah, I was going to say pickup basketball is the easy one.
I would be such a baby.
Yep.
I was such a baby when it
Check
didn't
ball.
go my way.
What are you doing?
To my own teammates. Like, I was a bad guy. Maybe I still am.
The guy that didn't go back and play defense stayed at the 3-point line.
Yeah, but
you were the bad.
I could make a handful of those shots.
You
and
were
that guy
LeBron.
over there can't walk and chew gum. Why is he shooting it? Give it to me. I can dribble and I can shoot.
I'm
Dude,
definitely not passing you the
You
ball.
practically fell down tying your shoes. Why are you taking a shot? Stop doing that.
I thought you were going to say, as a pitcher, you didn't like something going on.
No, but that's
someone
not,
was
that,
getting one.
Okay, so here's the difference to me in that. That was a very high level of real competition.
But could have been high school, could have been.
But we're talking Division I athletics, high school varsity. Like, that's different than playing pickup basketball with your buddies and calling them losers because they can't dribble with their left hand.
Basketball is the easy one. I mean, that's the one where 100% you find yourself, like, after a moment saying, what are you doing? It is pickup basketball, you dumb, you know what? I think basketball is the easy one. Board games and stuff like that, I don't take that stuff as competitively. I mean, it's fun because you're playing with your friends and this and that, but I don't take that. I won't let that stuff get me heated.
Have y'all ever played the game Spoons?
I don't think so.
So I don't know if it's a regional thing or not.
Have I played Spoons?
Is that the one hanging on your nose?
No. It's like there's a bunch of spoons in the middle of the table. It's a card thing, and you try to grab a spoon like slightly, but like the last person to grab a spoon. It's essentially like musical chairs, but there's a bunch of like items in the middle.
I think I know how Emily is in this situation with board games. I think she's.
I hate board games because I get too competitive.
Where'd you put the spoon, Emily?
No, but my family, one time, it was after it was either after Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. So it was after like a big dinner. We were all playing spoons in the middle of the table. Everyone goes to grab a spoon. The table breaks. This is a large family. We all have, we're all larger people as well. And just broke a table on a holiday evening because of spoons. I also, one time, I was playing kind of equivalent of pickup water polo and slapped a girl in the face because she was in my
How do you
space.
do pickup water polo? Like, hey, you guys want to go down to the pool?
It's essentially that, yeah.
I find games
you need
every
a pool.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Every Thursday night, I find games. Before the pickup water polo, you slapped her?
This was when I was in high school. I think I had a little bit less anger control, but I slapped her.
What was her response when she got slapped in the pool just playing pickup water polo?
She just kind of kept on going, I guess, because we didn't have any referees,
So
and
it
so
worked.
knowing that got me. Yeah, exactly.
Quiet down, you.
Message
Jesus.
sent, message delivered.
There was one. I'm going to tell this quick story. One time I was playing pickup basketball. It's down in San Diego State. And they have the Arc is the gym that they have. So a lot of students have memberships there, whatever the case is. You used to play pickup ball there. And there were a lot of people that would come from, they had no affiliation with San Diego State, but there was good runs there, good pickup basketball, so people would come. This was a very important moment of what's important during basketball and what's not. Two guys are arguing. Big dudes. Both of these guys, big dudes. One guy says, if you say whatever, I'm going to knock you out. Said one of those, okay? And the guy said, no, you're not. And without hesitation, the guy knocked him out. And I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and never say a word to anybody on a basketball floor.
And the other guys, that he told him not to. I mean, when you say don't do that and the guy does it, I mean.
Well, when he actually did it, I was like, bro, I don't think anybody ever goes through with those. Why did you go through with that?
Because, hey, look, you never know who's not kidding.
And then what do you do after that? You're like, well, whose ball should we
run down and play defense?
What do we do? Whose ball is it? Who's guarding him? Who's guarding the guy that just knocked out the other guy?
Slide him off underneath the basket like Teen Wolf and keep the game going.
Keep him moving.
Same exact thing. All right, USA, Iran is just about ready to get underway. U.S. wins. They advance. Anything other than a win, and they are out. So we'll keep you up to speed on what's happening there. And USC is into the Pac-12 championship. And are they there because of Lincoln Riley, or are they there because of Caleb Williams? That's next. It's Travis Sliwa, 710.
Sliwa, your Tuesday.
I like that people are sending me all sorts of tips, Lee, about what they're doing with their Thanksgiving
Awesome.
leftovers, how to freeze it,
It's
how
great.
to take care of it. Can't get enough of it.
One of these days when, Michael's just sitting at the house, I'm a fan of Michael. I don't need you to roll your eyes when I bring up Michael.
Car smoking. Yeah? What, how long has it been? A couple weeks. What? What do you mean a couple weeks?
Only when he turns it off, huh?
Yes.
Leave it on.
Because I think that's a Michael comes in. He said, Michael, just hit record real quick. And you're just in your action a little bit. You're putting some of this stuff together. And then
I'm
you
have to look at my fat face.
No,
it's a whole thing.
You just they'll keep the camera on your hands. They never get.
Oh, dude,
they never get you.
We're going to go move on from this, but I got to tell you, I had a moment over the weekend. I don't know whether my hands were dry or whatever it was. I was staring at the back. I'm getting liver spots. That's not good.
No.
Like that, you're supposed to be like 175 years old when you get those. Shouldn't have those right now.
You're fine.
That's no good. I don't need anybody seeing my hands either. Maybe I'll wear like Dusty Baker's gardening gloves.
I don't need anybody to see my hands. That'd be so awesome. You have like batting cage gloves on while you're cooking.
Wide receiver gloves.
Anything but my actual hands. Let's try a quick phone call here. Let's go to Downey and Jason. Jason, you're on with Travis Sliwa. What's up?
Real quick, turkey quesadillas, man. You're
Sure.
able to make a lot of quesadillas with some turkey, and kind of odd, especially as a Mexican, but it does the job. It gets everyone full.
It's not
Amen.
odd, buddy. We were making sandwiches. We were using turkey sandwiches with pita bread.
Sounds good, too.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Does not matter.
But let me say this, guys. I was telling Emily, I blamed a lot of the blame on Darvin Ham yesterday, and even he said it. And he always says, AD needs to call a shot. AD needs to call a shot. Bro, you're the coach. I feel like he needs, on all those timeouts that he calls, he needs to say, hey, if you're not going to give this ball to AD, I'll sub you out right now. He's the one that needs to tell them, quit shooting jumpers. You make one, you're not Steph Curry. AD needs to touch the ball in every possession. And he should be the one telling Bron, your jumper's not falling. Facilitate. If he can do it to
Jason, I'm
Lonnie Walker,
going to jump in for a second because I think the argument on Darvin Ham, and he's right. Darvin Ham did say, I got to be better at the end of these games. I got to get these guys more organized, and they weren't. Yesterday was like I said, it came down to, hey, let's just hope the clock runs out. Let's just hope buzzer beater. But don't forget, Russ had a shot, hit the back of the rim, bounced all the way up, went in, got lucky. Lakers had a possession, or Pacers had a possession where they had 3 shots right in front of the basket. It just landed on the rim and fell off. It probably shouldn't have even come down to that last shot that momentum was going towards the Pacers. He's not wrong on Darvin Ham using this. This is a good example of, okay, Darvin, it's really tough sometimes to coach 2 superstars.
Yep.
What are you going to go tell LeBron James that he doesn't already know? By the way, what are you going to go tell Russ? I missed Russ on this whole thing, and Anthony Davis. However,
it's the job.
That's the gig.
Yep.
That's the gig, and it's okay to have that conversation if you're going to have that conversation with somebody like Bron, and it's okay, guys. I don't care who gets that final shot, but we start with Anthony Davis. It starts in the block. Keep the movement going. Keep everything going. Just start with AD. And listen, the double team's going to come. I think the Pacers are going to make it obvious. They're going to run 2 guys at him. But at least it starts with Anthony Davis. There's some motion. I feel like when Bron has a ball, nobody freaking moves, including Anthony Davis.
Yeah, the ball definitely stops. You're 100% right about that. You are also right about coaching stars, very difficult. Coaching legends, even more difficult.
You have 3 players with.
You have 2 stars and a legend, right? You have 2 guys that are. Russell Westbrook's an MVP. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Anthony Davis is probably going to wind up in the Hall of Fame. LeBron James is a legend. Okay, that's a whole different category of coaching a guy. Because you can say, hey, let's start with AD. Let's make this happen. Let's make sure that we're looking at this play. Let's make sure that we're running this. You can do all the things that the coach does. The question is, what do you do when they don't do it? Now what? No, man, I'm just going to take this shot. You going to bench LeBron James? No, you're not. Because if you do it, now all of a sudden I'm in a weird spot with my guy. And if I don't have his buy-in, I can't coach this team.
You're right.
I can't do it.
You're right.
I have to have his buy-in. So I need to develop a relationship where I can tell him what he needs to hear, But I also need to listen to him. I also need to make sure that I'm hearing what he's telling me.
Sure.
Because if it's just, well, take him out if you guys, come on.
No.
It's not going to happen
and
like
I agree
that.
with you. It's not how the world
this
works.
This is not just you can do that with right now? You can do it with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Because what's he going to do? Right? I can live without you. We may live without you anyway. I can't do it with AD. He's going to be here longer than I am, probably. And I can't do it with a legend like LeBron James. And you can scream and yell, well, you should. This is the yeah. I'm living in the real world where I have to go to work with this guy every day, and I have to get his buy-in because the second he doesn't have it, I lose everybody else. And that's just the is it right, wrong, or indifferent? I don't know. It's just the way that it is. And you cannot do it like that.
I hope. I'm going to take Darvin Ham for his word of what he said yesterday. I got to do a better job. I got to get them this, that. I hope they got another situation like that coming up, and how the Lakers react to that situation is different. I hope how Bron reacts to that situation is different. We'll have to wait and see, Trav. I don't have the answer to it. I could just give you my observation from yesterday, and that certainly didn't go as planned.
I want to read this tweet from Mike M., who writes, Trav Slee, you guys are absolutely right on LeBron. He's been shooting the Lakers out of games with poor shooting nights. Way too many missed threes. AD needs the ball more. This is the part that I want to talk about. But LeBron's ego won't allow it. Guys, I really don't think it's ego. LeBron James clearly has a very healthy ego, and why wouldn't he? Everything he's touched is turned to platinum his entire life. That's going to create some ego, and rightfully so. I don't think it's, I can't let him do it because I have to do it. It's not that. It's, I've been the best player on earth from the time I've been 16 years old. I've never gone against somebody who's better than me. There's been a few that are nearly as good or as good,
sure,
but nobody's better at this than me. You don't wake up one morning and just say, I'm going to stop being that guy. Come on, man. There's a reason that when you get these guys that have all this juice and then they still act like they have it. I'm talking corporate and movies and entertainment.
Everybody. Anybody who's been in that. And by the way, this is it's a much smaller example. Russ's adjustment to,
for sure,
I ain't the guy. I'm not the guy that I once was. I'm not on a team that's going to allow him to be that guy. Bron, for the first time, he's at this stage where what should be AD first, LeBron second. I don't know what that adjustment's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to take.
It could be bumpy.
But it needs to happen, and it should happen.
No disagreement from me.
And I would love more than anything else, rather than LeBron waiting for it to happen, it's AD that says, guys, I don't care, night in and night out, I'm the dude. And I don't know if that's
just said it
in
out.
his DNA.
You just said it. That the way that it can happen quickest, not the easiest or without some hiccups along the way, but the way it could happen the quickest is if Anthony Davis forces it to happen. For whether it's through body language, whether it's through talking with LeBron privately, whether it's post-game comments where he's unedited, whether it's him demonstrably showing his frustration in moments like, there was never any ambiguity when Shaq wasn't getting the ball. Everybody knew Shaq was not pleased that he did not get the ball at the end of the games. There was no, we'll see. There was like, we screwed it up. I should have had it.
And he would use the media to play that narrative.
And the way you can get that thing to flip quicker is but again, you're asking, and you've heard me say this, and I get frustrated with you sometimes because it's like you're asking somebody to do something they're not going to do. So I'm doing it right now. Anthony Davis is not that guy. He'll say some things, but he doesn't do it.
Can I tell you a little bit of the difference? A little bit of the difference is when he came to the Lakers, Bron was still that guy.
Sure.
The last 2 years, AD has just
hasn't
not been
that
available,
guy.
right? And hasn't been that guy. A combination of the two. Maybe his body felt a certain way. Maybe mentally he's thinking about everything because of the injuries. Wouldn't this be the first time as a Los Angeles Laker that AD can not just sell himself on it, but he's got results even showing it that he is the dude. He is the guy. Bron's at a certain stage of his career. AD's at a certain stage of his career.
I would have loved to have just seen them ride this AD wave for as long as they could have before it went in a different direction. 0-0 in the 9th minute, Iran and USA right now. Emily, have I missed anything? And I'm not saying that to set up the traditional soccer joke. I'm genuinely asking, have we had any chances yet?
All right, so Pulisic had a kind of almost a 1-on-no-one, but then got broken up. So he kind of put some pressure on in the first minute. They've had several crosses, just had a cross right now. So USA's been putting some pressure on Iran.
Has Iran parked the bus yet?
They're parking the bus currently. And they also, Iran has had a couple chances too. So it's been kind of back and forth. Honestly, almost a little more Iran.
No, I'm glad you brought both countries up. I think there's a lot of politics we can get into as well.
Would you like to talk about the protests in Tehran currently taking place?
Want to take some phone calls on this?
But USA is sticking in there. Has had some good shots.
Okay, I would like somebody that's a soccer. I don't want to say that knows more about it than me because that's literally everybody. Mm-hmm. But somebody explain to me, if we don't go through, is this just kind of it happens? Is this a disaster? Is this a huge disaster? I don't know. I don't follow this enough.
They're really young. They're still really young. Next World Cup is probably more what this generation.
What hurt them is this: the Wales game. The fact that they
were
up
won
1-0. If they'd have won that game, they'd have got those 3 points, and they wouldn't be in this spot right now.
So yes, but because what Emily just said, and I've heard what you said about this team, and I feel like I've heard that about every U.S. national team from the time I was 16. Oh no, just wait, 8 years from now we're gonna. Well, I'm 50 now.
Well, but
it still hasn't happened.
On top of that, I mean, let's just be realistic. I think if they move on. And they move on to the next round, it's also like, oh, wow, they moved on, which I think tells the story of
You're right.
the expectations for certain countries compared to the USA.
But if you lose to France or Germany or Spain or
all
Brazil, it's
all
like,
good.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Of course. We're supposed to leave. If you lose to the Netherlands, well, yeah. Of course. That's Spain. Of course we're going to lose to them. But Iran, Wales, it's like.
I'm with you.
Real? Huh?
So
wait, what?
The World Cup
got a good draw.
A lot like college football, where it's like the same 4 or 5 countries are always the ones that are competing at the top, and it's really hard to break through. So before the tournament happened, they were expected to get out of the group stage. If they get out of the group stage, that's
I think I know
their
what
limit.
she just said. She said USA is UCLA.
This year, I'll tell you right now, Pulisic, he's been in the program,
Don't tell me there's not some comps
It's
there.
exactly right.
If they get out and they're competitive in their first elimination game, that would be cherry on the top. But the most would be getting out of the group stage. And honestly, doubtful to me.
This year, you're gonna go. You got a good draw, and we've been in the program for a few years. And right now, Pulisic's been in. He's really getting good. He's in the PPL.
You do realize you're Sylvester Stallone, right?
They all kind of end up in the same spot.
But don't change it. I'm just saying that
I couldn't if I wanted to. It's not something that I do intentionally. It's just kind of where I end up. All right, let's talk about SC. Caleb Williams, is he the reason they're on the verge of the Final Four, or is it because Lincoln Riley is at SC? Or is he the reason they're on the verge of the Final Four? And listen to this. If you call right now, and you are caller number 7, you're going to want to call 877-710-ESPN. Let me give you the number again. 877-710-3776. You'll win a 4-pack of tickets to the Pac-12 championship game. That, of course, will have USC playing against Utah. The game is this Friday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock. Tickets, discount hotel, and airfares are all at pac-12.com/tickets. Let me that address again, pac-12.com/tickets. Congratulations to Armando in North Hollywood. Armando just won a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Trojans and Chip Games League in Vegas, Legion Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, your squad.
What a cool setup here for USC. And if you're a fan and you're able to go on Friday, what a cool moment for SC fans to actually be in this game. We're at Legion Stadium like you're talking about. What I can't get out of my head is Dan Wynn. Why to unbelievable at Sayulitas in locations, and then I'm supposed to just go back to the show and pretend like I didn't see this
pretty
burrito?
Big burritos.
They look delicious.
They're longer than the plate.
Yeah, it's on one of those like styrofoam.
Yeah, and it's not just hanging off of one side; it's hanging off of both sides. Yeah, it's looks like a propeller from a helicopter. They have rotor. That's what I'm going for. A rotor from a helicopter.
Well, I know what I'm having for dinner.
Yeah, that looks pretty darn good.
Turkey and stuffing.
You should. Like we always do, the factor capper, that could you eat blank for how many days in a row before you would get sick of it? Turkey and stuffing, I think you've already gotten the over. that you went back for the 4th day, I think definitely covers the over.
I didn't have it yesterday.
I love that stuff. Like, I really do. But by Saturday afternoon, I'm like, yeah, that's enough. That's that of the turkey I'm going to eat until it's gone, but the potatoes and the stuffing and the gravy and all the side things that go, like, whew, I feel like I've just consumed a 7,000 calorie lunch 4 days in a row.
I think this is why for me too. They were if you have a starting lineup for Thanksgiving, they were not in the starting lineup. A lot of the dishes that you just talked
Thanksgiving
about are Thanksgiving. So the mashed potatoes and gravy, they're 8th, 9th on the roster.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because you got so much other stuff that you're keying in
on.
And you're
who's
focusing
LeBron
on.
in this lineup? Is it is there a turkey?
No, I think it's the curry.
Curry?
The kadi is what we call it.
Kadi?
Yeah, and it's got just pieces of beef, potatoes, and first they saute the onions. They use the curry seasoning and everything that they use, and it goes on yellow rice. That.
Oh no, I'm well aware.
That takes. There's a lot of that on there. That's the LeBron of the. So what do you want me to go grab?
No,
some mashed potatoes, which I'm not against mashed potatoes, but I could have mashed potatoes anytime.
Have a bowl of mashed potatoes on the side like a hot fudge sundae.
Same nutritional value.
You're not wrong. That sounds really good, Al.
So maybe that's why.
That sounds really.
That's maybe that's why.
Different. I was misunderstanding the Sliwa family Thanksgiving. Like I thought it was. I knew that you had your Middle Eastern food from your culture, but I thought there was also like the more air quote traditional turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, yams. But that sounds like that was way down at the end of the table.
You got cranberries, right, Slee?
By the way, I forgot my you need to put a little orange zest in there too.
I did not have cranberries. I had cranberries.
But they're on the table.
Were they inside the home?
No, they weren't. Next, actually, no, I was just thinking my brother-in-law, if he didn't because he makes gravy from scratch, he's doing the whole thing. He's like you, loves cooking the whole thing. If he's not doing that, then gravy wouldn't have made it because none of the ants would have brought gravy. So he's the one responsible one that's like, guys, you got to have gravy.
I like him.
So we did that. He made cranberry from scratch. The next day I had it, so I had it at his house. So
I like that.
I had it there.
He sounds like he's on top of his game. It sounds.
You guys will get along.
I love green beans casserole. It's one of my favorites of a part of the meal.
It's a classic.
But so when I was
with like the mushroom soup and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Ooh, okay, I take back my recommendation.
I got a green casserole story for you.
My parents are the ones that were making my plates because I was not allowed to be downstairs with the rest of the food.
Did you, Mom, make the Jello salad?
Did not make the Jello salad. I think she's gotten a little bullied out of making it. I feel bad about that a little bit.
No, I feel bad.
I don't. That needs to be stricken from humanity.
If I was with your mom tomorrow, I would tell her I would love your Jello salad, and I would eat it in front of her with a smile, knowing that I didn't like any bite.
Thanks, Gary. But my
you would say I ate it.
I would just say no, thank you, Mrs. Hebel. I choose not to eat that.
My only thing to my parents was like when they were making me a plate, I was like, I want everything but sweet potatoes. I am not a sweet potato person.
I'm with you on that.
They have like sometimes they make this like sweet potato like marshmallow thing too. Not a fan.
All right, sweet potato fries. You guys good with that?
I'm anti sweet potato everything. I don't like them.
Delicious.
I don't like them.
Okay, so the only thing and it never makes the table. There was green bean casserole. right?
Like the one with the cream of mushroom soup and the fried onions and all that?
Fried onions, not the mushrooms.
Yeah.
No mushrooms.
Not Al, just to be so we're clear.
Yeah.
Mushroom soup. It's
Cream and mushroom.
Yeah, they wouldn't even know. That's not
good for them.
Yeah, they
But
have
it
no
cooks it
idea.
off. It's not like soupy.
Okay, but it made it to the table, and I was like, "Wow, I don't think I've ever seen this here." So it was obviously one of my aunts that
Let
brought
the white
it.
person in.
Is Lady Sleet?
Where's Cynthia?
Candace, are you here? I brought the green bean casserole.
Okay, so with that in mind, that made my plate, and that was by far the thing I liked least on my plate. I'm like, why are you here?
You're not.
I'm like talking to my plate. I'm like, how did you make it? I got an all-star lineup right here. You made the all-star game? Who got injured for you to make the all-star team?
It's the Michael Redd of Thanksgiving side dishes. Wait, Michael Redd made it out of what the hell? He did.
Did you just pull Michael Redd out?
Honestly,
He was on the Olympic team too.
I've told
That's amazing.
I tell you, I have my memory is so stupid with random useless facts.
But it's perfect.
Of
That
course
was
it is.
perfect. That
I'm
it
a
made
professional.
it. And you
I've
know what
been
I
doing this
ended
a
up
long
doing?
time.
You know what I ended up doing if I was the coach? I put Michael Redd in the game. So it's not only was he on the All-Star team, you're wondering why he's getting playing time with Allen Iverson and these other greats.
I like that I had some deep NBA knowledge that impressed you. I'm very happy
that
with
hit the soul.
Do you guys remember that story I told you about green beans casserole?
About what casserole?
Green beans casserole. So my for a long time, I thought that it was called green beans Walter because my family called it green beans Walter because my grandmother one time was making dinner. My grandfather Walter was like, "Hey, what's for dinner?" And she said, "It's green beans, Walter." So from then on, my family called it green beans Walter. Then the other side of the family started calling it green beans Walter too. So I thought that was the universal name for this dish. So I go to my friend's house, not for Thanksgiving, but like a post-Thanksgiving thing. And I was like, "Oh, can you pass me the green beans Walter?" And they were like, "What did you just call it?" So that's where my love and for green beans Walter
So
is.
that's one of those dishes
Yeah.
that is, if you grow up with it, like Emily did, I think you just, okay, this is what, and you like it. You develop an affinity for it, and you just, this is what it is. But if you hit it for the first time as an adult, the way that you did or the way that I did, like, what in the world is this concoction? Keep it as far away from me as possible.
It's not that first, I didn't care for it. Let's just right out the gate. The second thing is, I got all this other stuff. You want me to waste time with this?
Yeah,
I can't
Precious
waste time
calories.
with this.
No, you're not wrong. Like,
can
my
I-
family, Emily, like you're talking about, does that sweet potato puree with the marshmallows on
Yeah.
top. They've had it from the. I don't ever
We
remember
wouldn't-
Thanksgiving.
I have no
It's
idea what that is.
Dreadful. It is this orange, goopy, sweet mess that you put more sweetness with marshmallows on top. You bake it, and it's just
Surprised you guys don't like
dreadful.
sweet potato fries.
Ugh. No.
They're that bad? Like gross to where
eat regular
I won't eat
fries.
them. I
Oh,
won't
they're
eat
so good. Okay, can I? Yesterday was Cyber Monday.
Oh yeah.
I've never been
Did you
a
go
part.
deep?
I've never been a part of Cyber Monday. Never. Okay, I have not, let's say, taken advantage of it. So my girl yesterday, there's a couple things that we can use. There's a couple things that she's been kind of waiting to get, and these are not small items. These are decent priced items.
Mhm.
And I don't know what happened yesterday. Couch.
A couch.
Yes.
Damn, Slee.
Don't damn Slee. Damn Lady Slee.
That's a lot of money.
Couch.
Like even an inexpensive couch is expensive.
Couch. Coffee table. We didn't get the rug. Okay.
You drew the line at the rug.
Yes. 2 TVs.
Okay.
2?
2 TVs.
Oh yeah.
One will go to her parents. That will be kind of a gift for
Nice.
Christmas.
Hopefully they're not listening.
Thought it was going to be like a double up
okay.
situation for League Pass.
Okay.
He's creating
all
a
right.
sports bar in his bedroom.
Look what else I was going to bring up. What the hell just happened?
Hold that up. I can't see it. Oh, you got ripped off is what happened.
I've been
Half
promoting.
price.
I've
Time
been
for me to
promoting
buy.
the League Pass for $99, saying, guys, you got to get. I've been telling Funches, told Berg, told you guys yesterday. I see an ad. Got the League Pass, $49.99. Just put code 50 in or whatever it is.
What provider do you use? Are you just doing this online?
This is just streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So
sometimes
there's nobody to call.
If you call and say, hey, they'll refund the difference.
Yeah.
That's happened multiple times with Sunday Ticket. That's which, by the way, I think is leaving DirecTV. That was like, until I started working the Rams when I was at home every Sunday, we had the Sunday Ticket. It was how you knew it was the beginning of football season. You get the bill from DirecTV. You're like, well, I'm not paying $300 or whatever it might be. You call and say, I don't want Sunday Ticket. Why not? Too expensive. What do you mean? It's too expensive. I don't want it. What if we cut the price in half?
I love that.
Still too expensive. Well, how much would you pay?
My favorite. Those are my favorite negotiations. Until my mom started knowing that I have the ability to do that, and then she wanted me to call everybody. Call Sprint. Call Cox Cable. Call this.
SDG&E.
Everybody.
It's the electric company, Mom. They're not going to negotiate. This is not what they do.
Well, turn off our electricity. Okay.
They will.
Sounds good.
With 3, 2, 1.
Gone.
It is gone. All right. We got Factor Cap. Coming up next, it's Travis Sliwa, 710. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Cap. That's That's so Cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
no, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, we were talking about Thanksgiving leftovers today, and I was reminded that this leftover that my sister made. So she's been obsessed with crunch wraps, like making homemade crunch wraps. And so she made a Thanksgiving leftover crunch wrap for breakfast.
Already sounds amazing.
It was like, it was turkey. It was like a little bit of the mashed potatoes, so made like, but not too soggy, so and all that good stuff. And had some corn in it, and cheese, something else too. It wasn't half bad.
Eggs?
You know?
You said breakfast. I'm just thinking egg.
I think she didn't put an egg in it.
Okay.
She just ate it for breakfast at breakfast time. Also, USA is knocking on the door, but Iran's getting some shots in there, so we'll keep you updated if anything happens in the game. So there's a poster that was released yesterday for this new movie called Cocaine Bear. That's the title of the movie.
Bear as in the animal?
Yes.
Okay.
Already interested.
Exactly. So it's like, that's all we really know about it. It's directed by Elizabeth Banks, and it stars the late, great Ray Liotta, Kerry Russell, and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. So those are the things that we know about this coming into it. So you would go see the movie Cocaine Bear based on the title alone. Travis, Factor Cap.
Well, not on the title alone, no, but on the additional details you gave me. If it's got Kerry Russell in it, I'd like to see it. I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's great. Ray Liotta was always compelling in what he does.
Of course.
Elizabeth Banks, I think, is it a comedy? Do we know? Because I think of her as a comedic
And
actress.
with Jesse Tyler Ferguson,
Yeah.
and maybe who knows?
Refresh my memory. Who's that?
He's the guy from Modern Family. The redhead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know him. Okay.
So
Comedy
who knows?
thriller.
Comedy thriller. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, Kerry Russell. I'm in. You had me at that.
All right, Cap from me, not off the name. I need something, right? I know it's a unique name. You're like, what the hell is this? I'm open to go see a lot of different movies. I like going to the movie theater. I like going with my
Hyped up
girl.
on cocaine?
What's that?
The bear hyped up on cocaine. You want to go see it?
But I need something. I need to kind of have some information. I got to know a little bit of what the movie's about. So just based off the name, I don't think I'm going.
Did you see what's just happened to me right there?
Did you almost get tangled?
I strangled myself with my headphone cord.
Watch this on YouTube, guys.
I almost called for help. Like, what the hell is happening? Why can't I get this? Why is it around my neck? What's going on?
Social, let's get a replay of that later.
Jeez.
Taylor?
Yeah, fact. I'll check. I'm not going to go see it in theaters, but I'll check it out. You know, if it's
What
on
if I
a
told you
streaming
Kerry Russell was in it? Does that get you interested?
No, it takes a lot to get me into a theater usually, but I'm a fan of the B movies. I saw Zombieverse. I know what this is about.
Sharknado?
Yep, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I kind of thought about this the other day, as I've kind of, I had to chat with my mechanic, things like that. You feel as though you've gotten worse at small talk over time. Alan, Factor Cap.
Fact. Yeah, I think I have. And I don't know why, but it's more kind of direct, to the point, not enough lengthy conversations. That's a fact. What's happening here? Does that happen as you get older?
It's Cap for me. I feel like I'm a lot better at it now than I've ever been, for the simple fact that
Mr. Perfect
No,
over here.
it's just you do this every day. You learn how to talk. Theoretically, that you learn.
Maybe that's my problem.
Here's the
I'll talk
difference.
less.
Here's the difference. I don't like doing it all the time, but if you bring me to a cocktail party, I will do just fine. You can put me next to somebody in an airplane. I don't want to talk to them, but if I have to, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm actually quite good at that.
Taylor?
Fact, yeah, I think I was better at I was actually pretty talkative in high school, believe it or not. But I don't know, over time, for whatever reason, just kind of, people just use
You
so
and I
many.
should go get a cup of coffee. Just sitting there.
Staring at each other.
Well, I think we talk about something consequential, Slee. Avoid all the small talk.
I want to know why you were talkative in high school, but you are not now.
I'm not sure.
Just gradual, or was
yeah,
there?
it was just exhausting.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but I really like the sound of my own voice. I am very interested in what I have to say.
Just talking to yourself when you're cooking?
All the time. Drive home, I never stop. Just in the car. Just
you.
modeling. There's a white Toyota Corolla. Yeah, beautiful looking car.
Guys do a play-by-play by himself.
All right, so last night I was reminded of this random piece of pop culture knowledge that I kind of forgot about. So, do you guys know or were aware of the John and Kate +8 drama that happened?
They had all those kids, right?
They had all
and
those
then
kids.
they got divorced?
Got divorced, and I loved the show as a kid. I watched the heck out of it as a kid, and destroyed me when they got divorced. And anyway, I had this parasocial relationship with these people. Regardless, there are random pieces of pop culture knowledge or pop culture events that burn into your memory and you don't know why. And I know we kind of talked about this earlier, Travis, but Taylor, you go first. Fact or cap?
Oh, man, let me think. Sure, knowledge. I don't know. I know a lot of like 90 Day Fiance stuff. Trash TV, I have a lot of awareness about for whatever reason. Jerry Springer, King of the Hill, Cops, that kind of stuff.
Right. Trev?
Yeah, I mean, not like reality TV kind of stuff, but I vividly remember the entire country being terribly preoccupied with who shot JR from Dallas, right? It was on the cover of Time magazine. It was a huge deal, and it was a nighttime soap opera with Larry Hagman. He was the guy from My Dream of Jeannie. And it's like it was the biggest thing in the world. I remember moments like, I don't know if this is pop culture, sports pop culture, yes? Yeah?
That counts.
Vividly remember when we beat the Soviets in the semifinal game of the 1980 Olympics. I remember that. I was 9 when that happened. So, yeah, there are a few. Not like Sopranos finale. That was a big deal too. Because it ended so unusually. Which, in retrospect, it ended really, really cool. I think it's a really neat way to do it.
Or like the Benifer stuff, anything with that, like when like big celebrities break up.
I could not care less about famous people.
Makes sense.
Really don't care about them at all.
Al?
I could probably care a little less.
You
but...
might be the one person.
Okay, this was a weird thing, and it wasn't even while it was all going on. It was more when it was kind of over. Jersey Shore. There was a moment during Jersey Shore where I'm like, this cannot be real. This can't be real
Big
people.
stars.
These are not real people. They are not doing what they are doing and getting this much attention.
I told you the story about the situation when he walked into the Super Bowl. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
But when that was happening, like, I guess I was just so confused of how this is a real thing and they're so popular in this that you actually kind of watched part of an episode to say to yourself, what is happening here? Now you know the characters a little bit. Now you know exactly what is happening. They score?
We
looks
scored.
like it, but Pulisic looks like he's hurt.
It's okay. I'll trade a goal for an injury.
Yeah, you take that. You take that. 1-0 USA.
We'll have to get
Is this like
reviewed on
football?
VAR.
Do they go by and review it? Is it like as every scoring play in the NFL gets reviewed? Is it the same idea?
Yeah, essentially now with VAR, they will review everything. Yeah, Christian Pulisic's Friday on the ground and the goal. But
okay. Look, he may be hurt, and I don't want to be a smart aleck about this, but
Right.
that happens on every play in the history of soccer.
Also true.
Where somebody's writhing.
Well-
Like I said, I don't want it because he may actually be hurt, but
got to see if he's
it
outside.
happens all the time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
All
update
right, we'll
you.
see. So Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore is my answer.
The 2008 Olympics, too, is burned into my mind as like the last Olympics that I actually kind of cared about. A lot of events, and it was like kind of big, and it was a big spectacle, too, which I thought was interesting. So the next installment in the Avatar series is coming out this month. But there was but there was a funny sketch on SNL where Ryan Gosling was obsessed with the font that was used on Avatar. It was the papyrus font, and the whole sketch was about papyrus. So there are fonts or font sizes that annoy you. Travis, fact or cap?
Small font, if I can't read it, annoys me. But beyond that, no.
Comic Sans?
I'm not going to go to war because you didn't use Times New Roman. I don't really care if it's big enough for me to see it. Although, you know what? I'd like to amend my answer a little bit. If it's not black letters on a white page, I don't like that. If you're giving me green or yellow on some weird background, that upsets my sense of decency. But your font and font size does not.
I only use Arial Hebrew.
I don't even know what that one is.
I don't either. I just opened up Microsoft Word, and I looked at some of my options there. That is one of the options.
It's funny. When you said Papyrus and Comic Sans, and I know more of them than I thought. Arial, that's another one. There's a whole bunch of them.
I don't pay too much attention to it, but if you're trying so hard to make everything look different, and it's like tough to the eye, right? It's like a little bit more difficult for the eye to read. That I don't understand. For me personally, whatever I open up Microsoft Word and it tells me, I'm like, sounds good.
They know better than I do.
This is what I'm using. The kind of too cute thing. Okay, are we good?
It seems like it. The Iranian fans don't seem super hyped, so that's a good sign for our side, right? They're sitting there.
Pulisic is just now getting up. He does look to be injured, but we'll, again, see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yes.
Taylor?
When did comic from being the coolest font ever to being the one that everybody bags
When
on?
you moved to
98.
Dan Gilbert? Didn't he write his LeBron sucks letter in Comic Sans? I think he did.
I remember that, yeah. I like Arial. I like Times New Roman, size 12 to 14. Sweet spot.
He's got thoughts.
If you guys,
11's too small. What's going on here?
Yeah, even number, odd number. I mean.
I tend to be a little bit specific with my fonts, and I like to have it all kind of even. I always use Roboto on our rundowns, and I know that no one notices, but I notice.
As long as somebody does.
All right, so
yeah, I wanted to talk about that. If we do a post-show meeting,
anything Roboto. Oh, did I get it right?
Roboto, but it's fine.
Is Pulisic still in the game?
I cannot see his pink cleats, but so one last one before we wrap. I started rewatching the show Laguna Beach on Netflix. It used to be an MTV show about teens growing up in Laguna Beach. This was my introduction to life on the West Coast, and Laguna Beach is to be a SoCal teen. Trav, Factor Cap.
If you grow up in Laguna Beach, it does. Yes. If you grow up in, I don't know, West Covina, probably a little bit different. If you grow up in Claremont or Arcadia, like I did, or El Cajon, like you did, probably Laguna Beach is a very, very specific slice of Southern California. So in that can't even talk specific case, yes, I think it is.
It couldn't be more cap in what you just said, because who the hell? I'm born and raised in La Jolla. Are you? I didn't even know that exists. There's a La Jolla High School. I'm like, who goes to La Jolla High School?
Nice too.
I'm just using that as an example. Laguna Beach, Malibu. There's certain places it's like, this is not the real world. When I go to Malibu and go for a hike and you drive by all those houses, I'm like, how are these homes exist here? I come once a month just to get a little taste of it and I'm out. I think for most people who have never been to Southern California, do not look at the coastal cities. Go look inland. That's where everybody's.
Well, when you think, when Southern California shows up in the movies, it's either Venice Beach, Hollywood, or Laguna. These are the things.
Or West Covina.
And that's probably 1/100% of where people actually live and work and spend time.
Taylor?
I've never seen the show, but I'm just going to say Cap because TV is not often a representation of reality.
And Pulisic did walk off, seemed to kind of jog off on his own power, but he did have to leave the game.
He did leave?
He did have to leave the game.
So that's like baseball. He's out.
If he leaves, he's gone. If somebody else subs in, I don't know if
Can they play a man down and bring him back out?
Yes. That I know. But that means you can't sub anybody in. Right. If somebody... There he is. He's back.
He's back.
Yep.
You got it. It's a miracle, guys.
They probably gave him some of that cold spray and cured whatever ailed him.
It is.
Hey, he scored the goal. They're ahead. It's the 44th minute, first half. USA, Iran. USA is up 1-0, and they got a little bit more than a half to go. And do we park the bus moving forward? Let's talk a little SC. Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley. Who gets more credit? That's next. It's Travis Sliwa, 7. Hey, Rams fans, Travis Rogers here. You have got to get the new ESPNLA app. In fact, let's go down to the locker room and get a little help.
What's up, Rams fans? This is Matthew Stafford. React to the Rams on the new ESPNLA app.
This is Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams. Listen to all your Rams talk on the ESPNLA app.
You are just one tap away from Rams All Access. Travis and Slee, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. Download it now on the App Store or Google Play.
my apologies for leaving this off the Cocaine Bear discussion, but our pal O'Shea Jackson Jr. is also in Cocaine Bear. So
there you go.
Looks like it's going to be a great movie.
Whole nother reason to go. Kerry Russell and O'Shea.
Let's get it in.
Let's do it.
And one more thing, too. This is from the Big E. He says, will Trav be making some turkey sushi with the leftovers tomorrow?
That sounds pretty terrible. Look, there's no bad way to reuse those leftovers unless I hear turkey sushi. Like your Crunchwrap creation that your sister made? Give that a shot. I'm not going to lie. That doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world. Turkey, like, I picture it next to a little ponzu sauce, and it just sounds dreadful.
I would be so disappointed tomorrow if you just bring in turkey chili and you do not
sushi?
Bring in turkey sushi.
Turkey sashimi. Just cut it really thin.
It's raw.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Dreadful.
Tastes amazing.
Absolutely dreadful. All right.
1-0 USA.
1-0 USA.
49 minute.
Christian Pulisic. Help me out here, Emily. Pulisic with the goal for it to give the U.S. the lead. And this, again, you and I, anybody that would like to help us with this, by all means, give us a call, 877-710-ESPN. Do you just, because prevent mode in soccer seems to be far more effective than prevent mode. Everybody back, you can prevent somebody from scoring.
Problem is, by doing that, and I think there's some common themes here in sports, that team's going to get a lot of shots off, right? They have possession the entire time. If you're not attacking at all, just imagine that, hey, we're done with our offense. Everything's going to be defense. They're going to be getting shots at goal.
They are.
The ball's going to be on that side, so USA's still attacking.
Yeah, no, their ball's in Iran's end. So we've had, at least when I've been looking at it out of the corner of my eye, we've had the ball more than they have.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this, but every time I look up, we have the ball. That has to be good news.
Possession's a good thing, right?
1-0.
Yeah. And we're not going backwards, which of all the things of soccer that drives me crazy. Hey, we need to put it in that thing over there. Let's go as far away from it as we can.
Protecting it.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing. Because you don't know. During the break, you were comparing these guys to Aaron Donald.
Well, no, the anti-Aaron.
But
Pulisic got bumped.
Yes.
Aaron Donald tries to break Russell Wilson's neck. There's a different thing. I'm sorry, I can't.
But you can't have that. Do not merge those. Just keep them as far possible because they are so incredibly different.
I understand that, but I've been indoctrinated on U.S. sports for my entire life. And I'm going to go around the room.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing when you start playing sports that your coach tells you when you get a ground ball off of your face or you fall down and get tackled? What's the first thing they tell you?
What do they say?
Keep the ball in front of you. Get up.
Get up.
Yeah.
Get up. Rub some dirt on it. Keep going. You're fine. These are from the time you're 5 years old.
Okay,
Get up. You're fine. Keep going. You'll be okay.
Can I say this?
Not scream like you had your femur shattered.
There has been antics that I think they're going away from the NBA. NBA was starting to become that. Hey, we're gonna. Got it.
Oh, another one.
2-0.
Check for an offside, but yeah.
Offsides.
Uh-oh. He looks like
Hands
they're
on
waving
his
that
head.
off.
Yeah, offside.
I got excited there for a
That
second.
guy with the Indianapolis 500 flag is waving it off.
He was offside by a mile.
He's the same guy. It's the same guy. They use him in Indy.
We're going to need you back here on Memorial Day weekend to start
Was he
the
offsides?
500.
It didn't look like he was offsides.
He was offside by a whole foot. Don't worry.
Well, nice try.
Keep it going.
1-0. We're in extra time, Slee. We're in the extra time first half. 1-0 USA. All right, let's get to this. Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman Trophy. USC may or may not play in the college football playoff. It seems likely if they win that they're in.
Yeah.
We'll find out exactly where they land in the rankings later today.
Tonight they'll be number 4, right?
I can't imagine they wouldn't be.
What would be if they? Who could be 4? What's the case that you're making if they're not 4?
I will make a.
Is it Ohio State?
No, absolutely not.
Is it Alabama?
Yes.
Wouldn't Ohio State have a better case than Alabama?
Alabama got housed at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were
Ohio
in
State
Columbus.
did. Right, Ohio State did.
Ohio State lost by 22 points at home. Okay, that's not even though Michigan's very, very good. That's a bad loss.
It's one loss to the number 3 school in the country
by 22 points on your own field. Alabama's lost twice
and late in the season, which does matter than
does.
early in the season.
Alabama's lost twice by a combined total of 4 points in Tennessee with a kick that 99 times out of 100 doesn't go through.
And against LSU.
And against LSU in Louisiana in overtime when they went for 2. they are 2 plays away from being unbeaten.
But also 2
Ohio
plays
State
away
got
from being
killed.
having 4 losses.
Fair, yes, but they are right
good move,
there.
Emily. Good move right there.
They are 4 points away, 2 plays away from being right there. And by the way, they're one of the 4 best teams in the country. The record isn't, but they are.
So
if you don't think if you put them on a field
put,
with TCU, they would just demolish them?
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But that's just not how that playoff system works,
for sure.
right? So just playing into the system, if they were number 4, hypothetically, if they let's say Alabama moved to number 4,
yeah,
they're not going to stay there because they don't have a game this upcoming weekend, right? They're not.
They don't play. They're done.
They're done.
Yeah.
Ohio State is done too.
Yep.
So the only thing that could happen is
Michigan could lose, SC could lose, TCU could lose.
My point is let's say Bama stayed at, let's say they're number 4 and SC's at 5. By the time this weekend is over, if SC punches their ticket, they win the Pac-12, they beat Utah, they will be number 4.
Or 3. They could conceivably go
as
to
in they
3.
would be in the college football playoffs.
Yes.
So no matter, I think whatever happens tonight doesn't really tell the full story because certain teams still have win and you're in.
I think it tells the story of what happens if you get a wild weekend and you get upsets, right? The interest isn't who gets the top 4, because if the top 4 win, it's going to be the same top 4.
Yep.
What's interesting is who's at 5, 6, 7, because look, SC could lose. TCU could lose. I can't see Michigan losing. That just doesn't feel like they're playing Purdue.
If SC loses, which they've already lost to Utah, then you're right.
They're out.
Then
By
it's
1 point.
very simple that
if TCU
somebody
loses,
else slides in.
They're probably out as well. The only team that I think could lose this weekend
Georgia.
and stay in is Georgia.
Yeah.
They're the only one. So it's still there's still a lot there. Let's pick this up on the other side. The question of why is SC in the position that they're in right now? Why is SC here? Is it because they have the best player in the country, or did they get exactly the right coach? That's coming up next.